Mason McGarry, and I'm doing a test to see if I can effectively do a vlog, not a podcast. This is going to be a non-linear grouping of different video tutorials for music-based stuff like mixing tips, how to place a mic, and other things that are relevant to music composition and music production. So what I have right now is a instrumental that I just made earlier when I went to get some coffee, and I'm going to go over some really basic elements here. This isn't a full song, it's just a 49 bar loop at 130 beats per minute, and it ends at a minute 28 seconds, as you can see right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this, and we're going to turn the kick, which is this guy right here, into a something that will activate a sidechain, compressing certain elements of the mix. So first I'm going to let you listen to it without anything on it, and here it is. So there's the kick, and it has a lot of presence, and as you can see, the faders are all turned up, and also over here, the stereo out track, the main out, is, well, it's peaking over 5, almost 6 decibels above. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put a limiter on there so that way it's not peaking out so loudly. And I'm going to go ahead and pull these faders down to, I don't know, around 3. Honestly, it's not that important at this point. Well, actually, matter of fact, I'll bring it down to 6. How about that? So as you see, I've selected all of them, which allows me to move the faders together, which makes it a lot easier. And I set the limiter the way I did, this adaptive limiter, because I don't want it to have any extra gain, but I want to make sure that it doesn't pass -0.1 decibels. So I'm not going to play it yet, we'll listen to it afterwards. What I'm trying to do right now is just turn this into the sidechain. My computer is freezing up right now. I got too many applications going, but that's okay. Maybe it's not. Okay. So I'm going to press X after I've selected all the instruments in the harmony range that I want to duck down whenever the kick hits, allowing more presence for the kick, so it's easy to hear that. I just choose these, instruments and to duck the harmony as a personal thing. I like the way it sounds, and I like how it can carve out a mix. But you can really choose whatever you want for that. So what I've done here is I have bus 30 is going to be my harmony. So all of the outputs are changed from stereo out to bus 30, and it shows up here as aux 7. I'm just going to go ahead and change that to harmony, so I know why, or what those, what that output, the input is. They're all the harmony instruments. And since I only have just a hi-hat going, I'm not going to compress that right now. Normally I'd have a lot more percussion, but this is just a quick beat I made, so we're not going to do too much with it. So now that I've done that, I'm going to select one of the harmony tracks, and then I'm going to go into it on the harmony track, control strip, and I'm going to add a compressor, and it's going to be tied to the kick. Now, I would suggest that you label the kick as kick. I normally do that just because I'll have enough instruments that I won't know which instrument it is. I know it's Beat Machine and it's the first instrument, so I'm just going to select that. But you have to make sure you know which one you're sidechaining, and you don't always have to sidechain stuff to the kick. You can also sidechain it to snare, or vocals, anything. It's really up to you. Even effects, you can sidechain other effects to any number of effects, like an echo or delay. You could have that influence the reverb. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with sidechaining, but let's just start with some basics. So we have this compressor open. I'm using this default one, the Platinum Digital, but you can use any one of these. I always just use that one because that's the main default for stock plugins, and it's just easier. You want to make sure that the auto gain's off, because otherwise it's going to boost the sound, and you don't want that. You don't have to worry about anything here unless you want to hear what the sidechain sounds like, but we don't have to go over that right now. What's important to note is that the knee, if you want to hear a pronounced compression for the sidechaining, you're going to want to have the knee be pretty far down. As you can see, the knee is going to change there in that square right here, showing you how soft or hard the knee is. So we're going to go all the way hard, all the way to the left, and here at the attack, you're going to definitely want that to be pretty low. I usually shoot for around 3 milliseconds, and the release, it kind of depends on what kind of a pocket you want to dig out for the kick. So essentially what's happening is that's the rate at which it comes back to its full volume. So if you have a long release, it's going to take, that's about a second right there. That's a little over a second, right? 1100 milliseconds, 1000 milliseconds is about a second. I would suggest something in this range here if you want a pumping effect, and if not, you might even go lower. But I'm going to start around here, and I'm going to bring the ratio up so I can really hear it, and I'm going to bring the threshold down as well. And you can see it's changing this knee here as well, and we'll see on the graph as it goes by once it plays. So here we go. Now you can see that the compressor is bringing it down. I'm going to make it even more extreme and more pronounced. Let's bring that back one more time. Without it, with it. So that's the basics for compression and sidechaining, and I'm going to see if this test video is any good at all.